Hello everyone, I'm Klaus here, and today guys I'm gonna make the final review of the Dragon's Universe little set from the Alliance side. So this means this one, the Stallion. So of course I've already reviewed the two first little ship in my Monday and Wednesday review, so with the Eagle and the Falcon, and here we go for the Stallion. So of course the packaging is exactly the same, so you will have the logo right here, of course the shade of blue for the planet Halo, it seems right here, Halo, yes, Halo the planet, and then the ground, which is of course kind of brown, and of course it's all shiny in some kind of a metallic way. Of course you have the drawing of the, a little drawing of the set you will have, so the Stallion right here, and of course the pod which pop out of the packaging, so of course the pod which is in plastic and which is of course a part of the set. On this side, 4 little pictures, so the Alliance logo, which you will see tons of time, then the guys on his little light ship or spaceship. I don't know why they say light ship, I mean spaceship by the way. The guy plus his weapon and a special gimmick exclusive to this set, and then the pod itself. Some information for the edge, the part, and the name of the set. On the side, nothing really interesting apart from the logo and some part of the drawing, well, copy pasted, if I can say so. And on the back, of course, you have some 3D view of the ship and the guy plus his weapon. So quite cool to, of course, distinguish in a more clear way the set you're gonna have in this box. Because of course the drawing is quite cool, but it doesn't really reflect the toy, even if it's really close to the toy itself. But still, it's still nice to have this type of view, even if it's again some 3D view and not the set, really the picture of the set itself. And then all the 6 set from the which are the which got the smallest price, in fact, all the small price sets, so the small price set, excuse me, so like the 3 little ship, of course, of the Alien side, and of course the 3 dragons from the Predators side. That's all for the box. Now for the instruction booklet, so of course the paper you have to unfold. It's built into 5 steps, and in this set we're gonna have the trooper Sina, as you can see. Then some nice picture with the set complete, in fact, which is the pod and the guy on this spaceship. Parts list, and of course the poster, which is quite the same with the battle scene between the guys. Of course the poster is drawn. In fact, it's a drawing. So. Oh, okay. I see. So maybe the guys draw the spaceship from some prototype, because the yellow is just not like that. In fact, in the real set form, the wings are supposed, as you can see, the little wings of the yellow ship are supposed to go up there, and this part are light blue and not yellow. So yeah, maybe some prototype drawing. I don't really know why. Well, still funny to see this type of stuff. And of course, well, one of the interesting parts of the poster is that it lists all the dragons and all the guys, so the Predators dragons and the Alliance guys. So remember, you have like 3 different type of mods, each representing a rank. So this means you have the trooper, with a normal helmet, then the captain with a little visor and a little antenna, and finally the general with some spikes on their helmet. And of course, in all these 3 little sets, we have some troopers, so the only some troopers. So the only difference is the insignia on their shoulder pad. But we're gonna see that on the set itself, of course. That's all for the instruction booklet. Now for the sets. Which begin, of course, with the usual pod. So of course, the difference between this pod and the other is just the color. So this means the upper part is in some kind of a transparent red, and well, it's the same. So the same mold, same little details and stuff like that. Of course, you have your 4 studs right there, your 2 pins, all one right here and one on the I'm gonna say underside, but I don't really know. I don't think you can say that. By the way, of course, it's open, but the only little problem is that you do not have any studs on this part, so you can't really put your figurine, your figures in it. In fact, so it will keep on moving when you will move the pod. But still, nice little extra from Megabloks to have some interesting pod with some little details and some studs and all. The only thing I really wanted was just to have some 3 studs or 6 to put the fig in the drop to make it stand still, because it's quite a problem. Even if you can still mod this little pod, that's what I made. In fact, I modify it to put a figures in it, but still not really interesting for you guys. Of course, I may show you this little modification later on some other review. But for now, the little guy, so the Trooper Sina. Right, yes, of course, no, right here, you can just see my hands, in fact, so yes. Right here, so of course, it's the same as the other guys, so this means color scheme is dark gray with some kind of metallic aspect, but, well, dark gray, some silver touch on the shoulder pad, and then some black for the Alliance logo, and of course, the insignia, which is specific to this guy, so it looks like that. And of course, some blue for the visor, for the helmet's visor. As you can see, so here for some little details of the guy, as you can see, very nice. Space Marine feelings again, really big bulk armor, quite cool. Of course, we got like two articulation pods for the arms, so one on the shoulder, one on the elbow, which can turn a little less than 90 degrees, and then of course the hands, which can turn. Then you have the legs with two points of articulation, so one here and one on the knee, which again can turn a little less than 90 degrees. You have also the pelvis part, which can move, so can like that, even if I think it may be kind of broken right here, but still you can turn this the way you want, and it's quite cool to make some pose. Of course, you got the head with one point of articulation, which can turn a little on the side, down and up, no problem. And also a little hole on the back, of course, to put to hold the shield or the weapon. It's up to you. It's up to you, excuse me. And well, here we go with the shield and the weapon, because well, so here is the weapon, no, the shield, excuse me. The shield, so it's the same as the other guy with the Alliance logo, all light blue and some little a nice little design with the handle on this side. We're gonna link this time the shield on its back, because you will see that, well, here is the weapon. So you have already seen this weapon if you have saw my video on, if you have seen, excuse me, my video on the medium spaceship I already reviewed, which was my first Dragons Universe review. So it's the same weapon. This means using, of course, some little trans blue stick and putting this into the silver part of the weapon. So kind of of course the frame of the weapon, in fact. And here we go, it's done. So of course we have two handles and one hole here. So we're gonna link this on the guy. Like this. And if I did that correctly, yes, it's all pretty well, even if the weapon is quite big, in fact. It's quite kind of weights a little. And well, the interesting gimmick with the set is that they give you a stand, in fact, so that's a premiere, so you can no, okay, that's a French expression, so I don't think it's it did well in English, but yes, that's the first time in well, in the set I have, at least they give you a stand, so I think maybe you can have some stand in the other set, but the only problem is that it's quite it's too short, in fact, in size, so you have really to bend your guy to make him take the weapon with the little stand. So that's quite a problem, even if it's really an interesting gimmick. Well, you will have to try some different pose to have him really touch the ground, in fact. Yeah, quite like, in fact, yes, it's well, here you go, it's worked pretty well. It's how you're supposed to make the guy stand with the little guy. So in fact, it's worked quite well, but it's quite hard to make at the first time. And of course, I've seen the guy can also carry the weapon without the little stand. So that's all for the guy. Quite nice in this pose, I think. Now for the ship itself, so of course we have the frame we have already seen. The only difference is that this part is red, dark red, if I can say so even, if I can say so. Well, I can say so because it's red, so it's dark red. Of course the little trans blue shape, trans blue ball, excuse me, or shaped ball, maybe, that's what I wanted to say. And of course, the different section we're gonna cover with some parts of the front one, the side one, and the back one, and the upper one. And now we're gonna begin with the sides. So we're gonna use this part you have already seen in my review of the Falcon set. So it's the same color, so silver with the same part right here, and of course some little parts to hold this longer light blue trans blue stick. But this time we're gonna put the stick in the front and not on the back. But they will point to the front part and not the back one. Here we go. Then you have the little wings that you have already seen in the Falcon review again, but this time we colored in red, of course. The little part. I'm gonna link two of them. I'm just gonna check if I'm right with the position. Yes, it's okay. And well, in fact, which is quite interesting is that we're gonna link then the stand, excuse me, not the stands, but the stand, and the weapon, like that. Now we're gonna have the reactor part, which is the most interesting part of the set, at least for me. So first I'm gonna try to cut off some parts. Yes. So first you will have this part which is full of studs, in fact. So on every side apart from these two ones, so this one and this one, we just in fact do not have any connection links. So as you can see, full of studs. Then we're gonna link this little part you have already seen in the two little set, but which were put on the upper part. This time it's put on the reactor part. I guess it works like that, excuse me. Yes. So we're gonna link this on the side. And finally we're gonna put this little rounded shaped part, light blue part, and put it on this studs on the back. And here we go, we have the reactor done. We're gonna link on this for studs. And here we go, it's looking pretty nice. So I think that's seriously the best engine reactor from all the two little sets. And finally the head, which is not the same as the other guy, but it's a new mold. So of course, because the ship is called the Stallion, of course it's kind of an horse head in a futuristic way, kind of robotic, but a robotic feeling and stuff like that. So really neat and cool, I have to say. Really a good point for this set, I think. And here we go, we have done the set. Well, the set is done, at least. The laser and stuff like that. So here we go with the little group shot of everything you will have in this set. So this means the spaceship, of course, but also our trooper Sina. And also the pod, of course. And well, that's quite all. I'm gonna just put the guy on the ship, of course, on the spaceship. And at the end, of course, I will make some little sum up of the three ship and do some size. Well, we're gonna some comparison size, in fact, between the big ship, the dragon, and stuff like that. But for now, I'm gonna link these guys, of course, putting the end into the two handle. And here we go. Of course, we're supposed to put the legs between these two parts. And of course, you can also put the weapon looking backward. And well, that's all for those little ship, guys. So I'm gonna, well, if you want to know just about the Stallion set, I would say it's a pretty neat set because it has really some nice exclusive part, like the head, as you can see. Also, this little stand for the weapon, which is quite cool. And also, I think it's got the best reactor part of all the three little ship. But the problem is that, for me at least, there is too much studs which still show up. In fact, which was cool on the Falcon is that it was kind of studless because all the parts really covered all the studs, and it's not the case of this guy on this guy because there is tons of studs right here, on the reactor part. So well, that's what I do not really like about this set. But apart from that, it's a great set because it's quite different from the other set, from the two little set because of the exclusive parts. Excuse me. So well, here is the Stallion. Here is the Falcon, and here is the Eagle. The three one I reviewed this week, and also the only three little sets from the Alliance side. So here's a pod, so blue, kind of yellow, orange-ish, and red. And here we go. You have all the three little sets. And now for some comparison size, so I'm gonna just put up this two guy. But this big guy, which is kind of well, it's a medium-sized ship, and here you can see. And yes, for the record also, this guy are like 15 centimeters long. In fact, I don't really know how it's converted in inches, but well, it's 50. It's kind of, yes, 15. Excuse me, 15 centimeters or 16. So go on the internet, and I think you will find some online converter from centimeters to inches. And well, that's all for the size comparison with this big guy. Now for the little dragon, which is also the only one I have. Well, so yes, this one is a little dragon, not a big one. And well, they do quite the same size, in fact. So they are quite the same size, so it's quite cool because I think at least they are the fight is well balanced between the two sides because they're kind of the same size and stuff like that. So well, it's quite a good idea to not have, like, for example, the dragon oversized or the little ship oversized. So that's quite cool, I have to say. And well, that's all for the little comparison. So now I'm gonna put back all the little ships, more like this. The pods. Oh, okay. And here we go. So my final thoughts on this three little guys is that they are quite great for their price because they are not really that high priced, and you got some really decent. Got a decent little ship, decent, well, not really a decent, I mean, it's not decent, it's just pretty good. In fact, it's quite good, it's quite great to have the little ship, then the figure itself with his shield and his weapon, and finally a pod. It's really a complete set for its price, and I think it's one of the, it's quite perfect for the price I paid. So I mean, like €7, at least 6.99, yes. And well, yes, they are pretty well made, good design, nice little figs, pretty well articulated, interesting parts, and also, well, they are quite all different. So well, it's not maybe the best idea to buy all the three guys, but still, they are all different. Even if they use the same part or the same frame, it's quite like the Slicer or Strobot or the first Holda. They all use the same frame, body frame, but they are all different because even if they use the same parts, they put this part into different places. So for example, as you can see, this part right here was used here and there, and even there, and even on the street, it's not the same because on this one, the laser point in the front and not on the back. So it's quite interesting. The same goes for this part which were used on the two ships on the upper section, but here they are used for the engine reactor. So it's all well done, and well, it's really some great sets. So I can really advise you to at least try to buy this one, because also the clutch power is really good, so no problem of parts which falls apart. In fact, it's all good, and seriously, I have no big issues with this set. So I can really recommend you to at least try to buy one of this. And my favorite personal one, at least, is the Falcon, the yellow one, because I think it's the most complete in terms of parts. And well, I think it's just the most complete. And the design is pretty good, really on this part, with the little lights and stuff like that. It's really well made. So I advise you, yes, I recommend you to try to buy this one if you have some money or some spare money. And well, that's all. So that's all for this review, guys. So tell me what did you think of this review, of the set and stuff like that. If you have any question on the Stallion or on any other set, feel free to ask them in the comment section, and of course I will happily answer them. And well, that's all. So hope you enjoy this little week series, even if it was Megabloks. So I know that maybe not all of you are fans of Megabloks. And well, that's all. But next week we're gonna go back to some Legos toy line. So by the way, hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and see you later. Bye bye.